Growing up as a Gen Z kid allowed me to see characters like Leon Kennedy in Resident Evil, Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead, and Jack Sparrow in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, all with an interesting character background and captivating story development. I never really thought about how these games, series, and movies that I enjoyed revolved always around a man doing something. And least of all, I never really paid much mind to the roles women played in the story until I got struck by the Indiana Jones movies. So, today I'll be talking about how women are portrayed in media, giving my opinion about the subject, and also sprinkling in some constructive criticism at the end. Perhaps this video will aid you with developing your OC stories or thinking differently about the media that envelops our society. Disclaimer: of course, all that I'll be talking about in this video is merely my opinion. If you agree, great. If you don't, that's fine. I also understand that the perfect story is unachievable, but at least I'd like for these tropes to bite the dust or evolve into something more digestible and sensible to the times. Having said that, let's dive in. Think about what usually is the role of a woman in any given piece of media. Is it love interest, mother, caretaker figure, princess in distress, lover girl, object of attraction mainly based on the physical, annoying, or even a banshee? Yes, I am once more placing Willie Scott as the example. If I mentioned almost all the roles you can think of, then you might see the list and notice there is something heart-sinking about it. And yes, there are also women that are independent and leaders, but that is abysmally less than common compared to male protagonists, and oftentimes done in a forced or poorly executed way. Let's look into that. What is usually portrayed by men in creative media? They are protectors, strong, with dry eyes, commanders of the story. They get the girl, they succeed on the mission, defeat their enemy, they get to do anything they want. I feel like women do not get the same freedom. Women are, in frequent instances, as I mentioned, a love interest, a goal to achieve, the new pretty girl at school, mother who takes care of the family, working, buying the groceries, handling a baby, their whole life a full-time job. They can also be seen as a princess in distress, abducted by some evil figure and needing rescue. All in all, not tropes that are necessarily bad, but why so often? If one takes in mind the fact that women were not permitted to do much outside their jobs as mothers and wives until fairly recently, then you could see why it is common that the protagonist is often a man, because it was written by a man. There have also been moments where men tried to write women, but those who know how poorly that went. I think nowadays, romance literature is mainly produced by women and consumed by women, which is fine and dandy. AO3 is a deep gold mine, but what about everything else? Personally, I dodge romantic topics in movies and series, not because I'm repulsed by it, but because my main experience with it has been a sight of forced love. I've recoiled at a last-minute kiss that didn't need to be in the story, rolled my eyes at a romance that brings a strong woman down to a wife that cares for the kids and heeds all of her husband's needs. I understand the heteronormative perspective of a natural order for a relationship, but putting women away from their original power and taking them to the side is upsetting and boring. Taking Miss as an example of the lover girl branding, her main thing was being solely devoted to Light, to the point of risking her life for him. Aside from that, there isn't much to her. He used her for his gain and didn't care for her aside from her part in his plans. If the roles were reversed, I'm sure a lot of mean words would have been thrown around by their fans. Lately, I've seen a rise of strong, independent women in media. Hooray! Well, at least when it's done right. There was this show I was watching that had many women like this, but then I began to see a pattern that I did not like. All of them were stubborn, prone to anger, and pushing their mindsets forward. Take in mind, sometimes it's admissible due to there being personalities like this, but do not make it the new constant. It gets annoying. Give me variety. They can be tough but also soft. Listen to other people without a scowl, and oh my god. The scene in Endgame where all the women superheroes had a special segment? Guys, when it's done like this, it becomes obvious what you're trying to do. And while I appreciate the sentiment, it's not organic, so it kind of feels forced. So, what characters have done it right, you might ask? And to that I say, Peach in the Mario movie, Carol and Clementine in The Walking Dead, Ada Wong from Resident Evil, and the Black Widow in the Marvel movies. They show strength while being kind, or with cold demeanors that beneath whole conscience. It's a combination of qualities that make a solid personality. And this is a short list, I know. There have been many more, even in the same universes that I've mentioned, but I'd go on too long. What my main point is with this video, let us see the weak points and better them. For example, release us from the love black hole. There is so much more that we can do. You can have strong but not cold-hearted women. This kind of feels like a whine about them being unachievable and thus undesirable. And finally, independent does not equal stubborn. Actually, women are frequently the ones that listen to others' opinions and can change their minds for the benefit of everyone. As an example of this, I put my humble OCs forward. My take on a caretaker role, I have Sienna, who spends her life caring for others in the house of care, and though she has a kind heart, she doesn't let others take advantage of it, and if pressed, can blow a fuse. My take on a leader role is Emiliaville, who is soon to take the throne of her mother, and despite her not having the look of a strong leader, she is set on her goals and will do whatever it takes to bring her people to justice, even if it means breaking some rules. Despite this strong will, she takes in mind the counsel of others and remains cold-hearted whenever trouble arises. My take on the lover girl role is Meek, who is head over heels for Emil, who is the protagonist, but this is not without purpose. She intends to use him for her gain. She has heart in her eyes, but they are attached to a wicked mind. And like them, I have many other women in my story that may or may not share the brandings I mentioned at the beginning, but notice how I take them beyond that. When I write, I seldom think, am I writing a boy or a girl? Actually, I think I never do, because gender should not matter, only the core of the character in the story, and it best be something more profound than love interest. Perhaps this is a strong topic for my first video, but once I got the idea, I couldn't trash it. Hopefully it didn't come off as too much of a rant and you actually enjoyed it. What's your opinion? Do you have any mentions that come to mind of women being written right or wrong? Tell me in the comments. And if you like this, please give the video a like and subscribe because I have more in common. And if my insight is actually liked, I might just do more character analysis. See you in the next one. Bye!